Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, in the last snapshots of the pristine Outlander episode from last week, burglarized Cameron kidnapped youthful Jamie was lying dormant on a front line. The family's capacity to go across time seems to have been found by Brianna's collaborator, seriously endangering everybody, except particularly Jamie. James Fraser was tracked down lethargic on the combat zone of the principal skirmish of Saratoga. The last episode of Outlander Season 7 preceding the show gets back from its middle of the season break. Defining Moments takes up where we left Jamie. Nonetheless, that is only the start of the difficulties the cast should survive. In the 7th episode, Claire took steps to go searching for Jamie on the off chance that he didn't get back from war, and she really did. Claire finds a scarcely conscious Jamie while fighting off a lady and kid who are taking the dead on the war zone. In spite of the fact that he is as yet alive, Claire sees an extreme cut on his hand. At the point when Jamie awakens, his better half attacks him out of frustration since she has been looking for him the entire evening, terrified of what she could find. Also, she is embarrassed to see that he was toward the front of the fight instead of the back where sharpshooters should be. Claire says she is irate with him since she was frightened and faults his inept legend complex. Yet, she likewise advises him that they have a place in Scotland and shouldn't engage in that frame of mind there. Following the initial titles, we see Claire and Jamie at camp where she is wrapping his injury. She wants to Jamie's hand while making sense of that, albeit the English case to have won the conflict, they really experienced weighty misfortunes. She consoles him that Ian was unarmed during the battle. However, Jamie stresses over William, yet Claire consoles him that since he was at Ticonderoga beforehand doesn't suggest he is currently at Saratoga. Claire passes on Jamie to recuperate while she takes care of the other injured troops. After some time, Denzel Tracker visits her, troubled by the conflict's losses. He has never lost such countless patients unexpectedly early, and he contemplates whether, as well as being a specialist, he can likewise oversee it as a Quaker. At the point when he asks about assuming this anguish and passing is all even beneficial, Claire answers that she figures it will. Obviously, the way that she knows about the future and how this fight will turn on makes a difference. At the point when Claire gets back to help Jamie, she provides him with the remainder of her laudatum to facilitate his desolation and gets some information about a guest she had before seen leaving their tent. Jamie explains that it was Colonel Johnson who came to proclaim that Jamie's activities during the contention empowered his organization to break the English line and reliable their life. In the wake of let Claire know that brilliant men merit losing a finger or two, Jamie quickly falls asleep in the center of his assertion. Claire then, at that point, fastens his hand prior to going along with him in bed. Regardless of whether Jamie's hand is recuperating great 14 days after the fact, Claire isn't especially satisfied on the grounds that she realizes he will get back to the battle. At the point when Claire Novice roll out appearing down on some goose oil, she had put something aside for Denzel's understanding. She talks about something else and tells Ian she expects another battle, one that will be pivotal in enrolling the French in the contention. She encourages Ian to obtain extra oil on his own drive and to convey to Ratched Tracker. Among Rachel and Ian, sentiments have been creating. Their hands momentarily contact as he gives her the goose wrinkle, and obviously they are drawn to each other. In any event, when Ian tries to kiss her, she smacks him after at first seeming to acknowledge the kiss. The longing is perfect, notwithstanding his expression of remorse. While Ratched is safe and he demands that she cherishes him, clearly they are both battling with their feelings. Because of the danger presented by Archbug, Ian is worried that Ratched would pass on assuming she adored him, and she stresses that their relationship would struggle with her Quaker convictions. Afterward, when she raises the subject with her sibling, Denzel alerts her that assuming she weds somebody like Ian, their local area will doubtlessly dismiss her. A fighter shows up meanwhile to trade supplies with Claire. Before Jamie goes along with them and Claire asks the man's name, they have a lovely discussion and he gives her laudanum. Claire is stunned to discover that he is, in all honesty, significant General Benedict Arnold. Before long, she tells Jamie that Arnold means quite a bit to the conflict. That's what she adds in spite of the fact that he will at last betray the mainland armed force, deceive them, and be perceived as a double-crosser. It will really help their goal. Claire and Jamie watch as General Daniel Morgan clarifies for his men why he disdains the English as we later track down in perusing an update to his men on the battle in the place of the English power. At the point when Morgan removes his shirt, he uncovers a seriously terrified back that looks like Jamie's own back and was brought about by a fierce beating from the Redcoats. The second clash of Saratoga occurred on October 7th, 1777, and the episode go on there. Jamie is engaging close by different shooters this time. Morgan orders General Simon Fraser to be shot subsequent to spotting him on the English side. However, Jamie is clearly hesitant to see Simon Fraser as his cousin. Rather than shooting Fraser, he shoots a fighter's cap off of his head. At the point when the officer turns, William is seen. While Jamie is getting his course subsequent to being thumped to the ground, another sharpshooter shoots Simon Fraser. Jamie, who has been told to seek after the withdrawing English, evades explosives and scales obstructions as he stresses over William. We later saw Claire taking care of Benedict Arnold after the Americans had won the conflict. He communicates toward his annoyance with Morgan and different officers for reliably disregarding him and making light of his job to the battle. Despite the fact that she overlooks the swindler part, Claire consoles him when he contemplates whether history will recall him. At the point when an English fighter shows up to track down Jamie and illuminates him that overall Fraser is passing on and necessities to see him before it's past the point of no return, Jamie lets Claire know that he nearly shot William and that the experience shook him. Claire expressed as there isn't anything that should be possible when they get to Simon's side, and Jamie then, at that point, continues to talk with his cousin. They recollect their last experience with each other. Simon says he's fine with being encircled by him as a family member and by his friend, yet Jamie communicates lament that his cousin is dying a long way from Scotland and his loved ones. William and Claire run into another external the tent, where they have a discussion about what shocking conflict it is and the way that it has meant for William. Claire illuminates Jamie that William is available after he offers his appreciation to Simon and the last option dies. Jamie then recognizes liability regarding shooting his other oddball during the battle and gives his child a cap. However, notwithstanding the way in which troublesome it is for Jamie to meet William, he owns up to Claire that he actually needed to offer it a chance in the event that it turned out to be his main open door. At the point when another warrior approaches Jamie to illuminate him that he has been elevated to chief, Wooden looks as Jamie leaves while thinking about the way of behaving of this man whom he knows yet doesn't have the foggiest idea. After the fight, when the English expressions of capitulation are being arranged, Jamie discovers that one of the necessities is that no troopers who partook in that fight are allowed to battle in this war going ahead, guaranteeing William's security. In any case, Jamie learns of an alternate exact term that changes what is happening for himself and Claire. A colonel shows up to find out if he will go with his cousin to Scotland, since Simon Fraser had requested that his remaining parts be returned there on account of his passing. Ian will go with Claire and Jamie while plans are made for their revisitation of Scotland. He requested that Ratched watch out for Rollo while he is gone, and she assents since it infers he will get back to hit Rollo. Afterward, we find Ratched strolling Rollo when she experiences Archbug. Archbug perceives the canine and presumes that assuming Ratched is dealing with Rollo, his proprietor should really cherish her. Their gathering doesn't look good for Ratched on the grounds that he has taken steps to kill anyone he cherishes. The triplet of Claire, Jamie, and Ian are on board a boat cruising to Scotland towards the episode's decision. Jamie gets nauseous and misses his canine, yet before they understand it, a chime signals land. They all leave onto the overhang and begin to cry when they see Scotland, a country they have all missed frightfully. Like how the past Outlander episode invested much more energy with the Frasers and the Mackenzies, this episode turns the tables and offers us somewhat a greater amount of the plot during the 1980s. Roger gets back to illuminate Bree that it was beyond any good time to prevent Ransack Cameron from going through the stones at Crane and done with Jemmy. She illuminates Roger that the letter from Jamie that made reference to the Spanish gold is gone on the grounds that she has concluded that Ransack's targets are associated with it. Bree considers what they ought to do, and as Roger is troubled, he announces that he is getting back to seek after Ransack. Bree gives them stones she has been saving on the off chance that they at any point need to go back to the 1700s, and Buck offers to go with him since he needs to help his family members. Afterward, Roger, Bree, Mandy, and Buck are seen rising to Crane O'Dun. Roger makes a miserable farewell promise to the Mackenzies while vowing to get Jamie back. As Roger and Buck go through the stones, Mandy and Bree can stand by in anticipation of their protected return. With everybody in Scotland currently, will Roger stumble into Claire and Jamie? Also, what might be said about Jamie? As the main portion of Outlander Season 7 is presently gotten done, we'll simply need to pause and watch. Meanwhile, you can return to past seasons on the Starz application and Lionsgate Plus. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.